Hi viewers, and welcome to my channel. Today we're working on a 2023 Dodge Charger. It's a 6.4 engine size, and we're gonna remove and install new we're gonna remove the intake manifolds on both sides, and we're gonna install these headers on instead of the original manifold. So one thing that I did, I removed the box. There's 3 bolts to the box to remove it, and there's one here for the air filter. There's 2 bolts also for the reservoir tank. What I did, I put a hose here all the way down, and I put a bottle on the floor, and I drain it like all the way to over here. Then I just have to disconnect it, put my finger in the outlet to avoid a big spill. Put your hand in there, and then you can take it out and drain it on a bottle. I put a plug here as a precaution. So the next thing is going to be lifting the vehicle and put them on 4 stands, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, because we're going to remove the catalytic converters from the bottom. First thing, you want to disconnect your battery. You can disconnect the negative. So we are here under the vehicle, and what we're going to do, we're going to remove the oxygen sensor. It's at I believe it's at 22. You can use a wrench to remove it. We're going to loosen this bolts right here, one on the top and one on the bottom of the exhaust, and we are going to remove it from here as well. This on this right here on this side. See, right there. We're gonna remove both pipes from here, and it's gonna be the same procedure for the other side. But let's start removing that. Here's the other side of the passenger side. Same thing. We're gonna remove the oxygen sensors, and then the nuts over here, the bolts. I have already broken loose, so it's easier for me. I've disconnected here on the top. There's a connector. You have to pull on this little tab. You have to pull down and then press over here on the connector, and then I'll break it loose. I'm just gonna put it here on the side, leave it in there. So the next step is going to be, I'm gonna remove the one on this side of the catalytic converter, and then just this one I'm gonna loosen and leave it there. I'm not gonna take it all the way out. In fact, it's a lot easier to turn that bolt from this side. And so there you have it. That's how you get that one loose. Here on the back, we have a 15 millimeter a nut for the exhaust pipe. Now that I have removed the back bolt, now I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one on the front, so I can start removing the catalytic converter pipe. I'm gonna cut the beater here because I'm gonna need both hands to get it out. I got it removed. The way I did it is I pushed back on the pipe, back that way, and I got it off of here first, and then pull it forward and wiggle, pull it forward. That's how I end up removing catalytic converter and the pipe that connects back over here. Also, remember to mark your steering wheel here. because you're gonna have to remove your steering wheel connector here, the rod connection. So mark it. This is a 10mm bolt you're gonna remove. Mark it. And on the steering wheel, use your seat belt to hold it in place so it won't move around and damage the clock. So now the oxygen sensor on this side was able to break it loose with a oxygen sensor socket and a ratchet. My ratchet has a swivel, give you a better angle to loosen it up. So once I got it, that's loose right there. So now next step is going to be to remove the connector on the top. So same situation here. I was able to get my wrench from this side and start working this bolt out. That's great that we have a space here to move our wrench inside. Alright, so now we're going to be able to remove it back, get it out from the front down, and then push it forward and wiggle. We're going to remove our knock sensor, and I believe we're going to have to remove it so we can get to the bolt on the back. There's a bolt, it's right over there, that bolt over there, and we're going to remove that bolt with the 10mm wrench. So next we're going to remove the bolt for the knock sensor so we can start loosening down removing those bolts, 10mm bolts for our exhaust manifold. Now that we have removed 3 bolts in the back for the exhaust manifold, if your vehicle has a splice shield, you want to remove it. It's 4 bolts to remove it. If you want just to have a better view of what you're doing, if not, it's not necessary. You're gonna come this way towards the tire suspension, and then you're gonna be able to see the bolts that are remaining, the remaining bolts for your exhaust manifold. So there's one right there and the other one up there. You can access them from here, from the bottom. We're gonna remove the engine oil dipstick tube. We're gonna remove that so we can have a better access, but I can access from the bottom here as well, from here. Once you got your splice shield removed, you can also access here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a ratchet a long extension ratchet and remove this bolt from here from the side. With the long extension ratchet, I was able to reach on the top bolt that is holding the oil dipstick tube, and I was able to break it loose, and now I'm removing it. I'm just showing you this to you so you can have a better idea of what you're gonna need. I mean, it makes your life a lot easier. You can definitely reach that bolt from the top, but now that I have access from the bottom, I have the tools, the accessories needed to remove it, so I'm gonna do it from the bottom. Now that we have removed the bolt on top of the dipstick tube, now we can remove it. I'm gonna just set it to the side right now. Once I get to the top of the vehicle, I'm gonna remove it from the top. I'll have straight access to the bolt. I can use a swivel socket, or it's right over there. So I ran into a situation. I was using my 10mm circle ratchet wrench, and as you guys can see, I ran out of space to remove the bolt, so the wrench is hitting against the manifold. Now I can't get it out. I'm gonna remove the other bolts in the front, see if I can just move this one up after I have removed the bolts. See if I can push the manifold up a little bit, see if I can get a little bit of space to remove my ratchet wrench. Here we are on the top. Now that you have removed your oil dipstick tube from the top, now you're gonna try to just feel with your fingers and the bolts, and then you're gonna start removing it. I'm using a 1/4" ratchet with a 10mm bolt socket. We're gonna remove it slowly until we get those bolts out. Here on the top, I had a little bit of trouble getting to the third one from the front back bolt. I ended up removing the ignition coils to the side so I can get better access, or my hand can slide closer to the valve cover so I can get a better grip on that bolt. I got 2 bolts from the top, and that's not including the one on the front here at the top. That one I got them from the bottom. So for now, I have 3 bolts here that I got, 3 bolts, and I end up removing those ignition coils so I can get better like movement with the ratchet. You're gonna need a ratchet like this that has this joint on the middle that can go at different angles, so you can get it like that under and start moving, loosened. If the ratchet is longer than mine, it's even better. The longer you get the ratchet, the more leverage you got on it. So you have to have this in order to remove those bolts. Otherwise, you're gonna be having a hard time. And I do have good news. I was able to remove my ratchet wrench from there because I was able to move it up a little bit, or move a little bit the manifold, and I was able to get it free. So that's a great thing. So now I'm gonna just remove that last bolt and get the manifold out. So there we have it, out of the way. Let's make sure that everything's clear on the head, and then we're gonna go ahead and get to the driver's side and start removing it. I have loosened the oxygen sensor, and I have also disconnected on the top. I'll undo this clip over here so I can get it off of it. I'm just gonna remove it. And keep track of your oxygen sensor. Don't misplace it. Put them on the make sure you put them on the same location. For example, front driver, it's going to be your front driver always, and passenger front is always on your passenger front. So now I'm gonna mark my steering wheel. I'm gonna mark it here because I'm gonna remove this bolt. This is a 12mm bolt nut. There's two, one here, one on the top. And there's a 10mm bolt on the bottom for the heat shield. You can reach the one on the bottom with the an extension. It's right over there. The heat shield is going to come out of this way over here. So once you get it out, you're going to have to fight a little bit. If you have to bend it a little bit so you'll be able to get it out. It's just aluminum. You can bend it back and put them in place. But now it's going to be time for us to start removing the bottom bolt on this anti-exhaust manifold. Yeah, you guys won't believe this, but I fall into the same problem twice. There's my ratchet stuck against the manifold. So you know what to do. You're gonna have to remove all the other bolts and leave that one to the end. I can't believe it. I suggest you guys not to do it, and I did it. Right, in order for us to have enough space to remove that bolt at the back, we're gonna have to remove our starter motor. It's going to be two nuts on the front. We're gonna remove the electrical power connector here in the back. It's a 30mm nut. And the connector on the bottom. You're gonna push on that and pull. Like that, and then we're gonna remove this. It looks like they're like 15s. Well, I'm gonna try to get it out from this side up. This is what I have so far. I went up with the starter, then tilt it back this way, and that's how we're gonna get it out this way. With the starter removed, I was able to reach that bolt, have better movement, lots of room. So yeah, definitely it's a plus removing that starter. To gain access through on top of these control arm on top of it, and then I go from the top with a long extension. I can show you where so I can access that bolt right there on the top. to the top of the arm. Also, for the one on the top, the bolt on the top, I was able to go through here and gain access to that bolt on the top of the manifold and remove it from here as well. At the top, I only have two bolts left. One was here, but I already took them out, so there's just one over there and next one over there, and the one on the top that I have my wrench stuck on it. So I'm gonna go through here and loosen these two. I don't have to go from the top of the line here. I'm gonna go here. I can always loosen this one from here, release it so I can pull it this way. I can stick my hand and get those loosened, those bolts out of the way. So this is all the bolts here. It was very easy to get access from the bottom, from here, from this side. Well, I thought I had two more bolts, but actually it was just this one that I showed you just a few minutes ago. And look, now it's moving. Now I can remove my ratchet on the back and my ratchet wrench that I got stuck on the last bolt at the back and the bottom, and I'm going to remove that from the bottom. Yep, I was able to remove that wrench on top of it and that bolt. Now it's time for this exhaust manifold out of its place. Try to do it with one hand. Yeah, the second bolt. So there's one here. There's other one over there. That's the one that I removed. That I thought it was this one, that I had that one to remove as well. But I remember I removed it from the top over here. But it is more complicated here from the top. That's why you remove the we remove the antifreeze tank, so we can access from the bottom and loosen that up as well and get that removed. But I did from the top here, from the bottom, with my hand on the top of the manifold. It was a little hard, but I think it's best from over there, because that one was really easy and the other one shouldn't be that bad. So my suggestion is to get those two bolts from over there. Here I have the headers, the new headers that are going to go into the vehicle. This one is the right side and that one is the left side. These are the OEM exhaust manifolds. So we're going to go back with those. I'm going to start on the passenger side. I'm going to put that one in place. So first I'm going to install two bolts, one here, one over there, so I can put my header. I'm going to need two hands, so I'm going to try just to put the header in and then record afterwards. Alright, what I was able to do, I took out I removed the gasket, and I put the one bolt on the top that I show you first, so that my manifold will catch on the groove. And then I put this one all the way to the top, and then I was able to put that bolt in place, so that'll make it hold on its place while I put my gasket this way. My gasket from the top, I'm going to slide it in all the way to the front. Alright, so the way that I was able to do it is, like I said, I put the bolt over there on the groove, on the opening of the intake manifold. I'm sorry, exhaust manifold. And I also put this bolt over here on that row right there. This one on that opening, but I let them loose, and then I was able to slide my gasket from here slowly to the front, and then push it up into the grooves as well, into the bolts, those two bolts. That way it sits in place. That's how I did it. You may find a different way to do it, but this is the way that I was able to put them in place. So I'm gonna go on the top. They're all loose right now. They're not tight. we're gonna put the ones on the front, on the top as well. So there's a bolt hard to get to it, to reinstall it, and it's the third one here. Let's see, 1, 2. Yes, the third one back here is right on this edge, right there at the bottom, and it's hard because there's a plastic, the valve cover plastic here. It kind of goes out a little bit here, and it makes it hard for you to reach the bolt. I was able to get it, but I have small hands, so I was able to get it in there, and I used the 10mm ratchet wrench to get to it and tighten it just a little bit all the way to the bottom, but I'm gonna tighten more. They're supposed to be like 20 foot-pounds, but if you run into this problem and you can't get it, that bolt, you're gonna have to remove your valve cover. That'll give you plenty of space to work on. Right, so you're gonna need patience on this job. It's your second bolt on the top. It's right behind that pipe, and from the top it hits against the metal, the pipe. Any wrench or socket that you want to put in to tighten it is very, very difficult. I couldn't do it, so I came down from the bottom. See if I can point it out, and I was able to go between this pipe and the pipe over there on the top with the extension all the way forward, so I can reach my bolt and tighten it. It is not easy, even like that. It is difficult, so I suggest you guys have patience, because it's gonna be hard. So far I already got it tight. I'm gonna tighten the other ones, but if I find difficulties, I'm gonna show you how I did it. And that's how I did it. I went from the side, from here on top of this pipe, through here, and I was able to reach the bolt over here with an extension and a 10mm bolt socket. That extension, this bolt socket, and then the small ratchet to tighten it. It's hard, but it's doable. So far, the more difficult ones are the ones in the middle, on the top. Very difficult to tighten. I showed you the one already that was difficult behind the pipe, so I'm going to show you the other one. There's no way that you're going to be able to tighten them from the top, and the other one is going to be that bolt over there. You're going to have to tighten it from the bottom with the a ratchet and wrench. That's the only way you're going to tighten it. There's no other way that I could figure out to tighten it. So be ready to tackle this job. It's time consuming, and it's difficult. On this one, we're gonna put the first bolt is gonna be on the second one from the back forward. We're gonna put a bolt in there like that, and then after we got our header in place against that, we're gonna put this rear on the back. So on this one, I decided to take the bolt on the top and then just put the one on the bottom, put the gasket, and then slide my header on top of it, and then align the ones on the front. That was the easiest way for me to do it. Either way is hard, but I find out that that's the best way to do it. Just put that one, slide your header, and then slide your gasket, and then try to align from the front. You can grab from the front of the header from under the vehicle and align it. Align your bolt on the top, and then put that bolt in there. Start the bolt, and that's how you're gonna align. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of the bolts. So here on top, I only have 2 bolts I'm gonna install back in, which is one right here, the second one over there in the front. Like these 2 bolts in the middle of the header, and this header has a lot more room here in between the pipe and the bolt. The one that I had a really hard time, that's this one on the side. You can see right there, there's not much room. Really hard. One thing that I forgot about it, on the last bolt here on the corner, I'm gonna have to put the oil tube, and I was gonna remove the valve cover, but I'm not gonna do it. That's why I removed the last ignition coils. Either way, if you remove this one, it's gonna be a little bit easier, but you're not gonna be able to tie those bolts from the top. The two on the middle, they have to be tightened from the bottom. There's no other way. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these two bolts here. I'm just put on a little bit of this Loctite. If you have the blue one, it's better to put the blue one. I'm just putting a little bit on the thread of this bolt. Just make sure it's not gonna come out. There's not really much to show you what I'm doing here. I'm just finding the hole and put the bolt in. That's what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna tighten it with the wrench. I was able to get all the bolts on the top real easy on this one. This driver side is the easiest. I'm gonna install the knock sensor and the starter. All right, if you made a mistake, it's like I did. I installed the header and not the starter first. Well, I wasn't able to put the starter through that hole. It seems like bigger than the space seems bigger, but it's not. It's actually more reduced. So, but not everything is lost. Mark your position here at the bottom. Take this bolt out and move this out of the way, and that way you can put your starter from the bottom, from here inside. That's what I had to do because I wanted to put the header first and have plenty of space to tie down everything, and obviously at the end I didn't have enough space to install my starter. So if you want to install your starter first, go ahead and do it before you start. Just install your header. So I have installed my starter, 2 bolts, just the same way we took them out. We're gonna put it back, same here. Now we're gonna install the heat shield. Now that we have installed our 2 bolts, make sure you put the on the bottom bolt right here, that's a 13. Make sure you put Loctite, and then the number 10 over here on the top. You have to line the lines. It's really not that difficult because this one is just it has 2 edges on the side, and the other one, the other 2 edges are round. 10mm bolt with Loctite on. Okay. So if you're planning on doing this job yourself, be prepared. You're gonna need one of those pipe expanders. This one goes from 2 inches 3/16 to 3 inches and a half. This one, the bigger pipe, you're gonna insert it in there and you're gonna turn it to expand a little bit the pipe over here, because it's not gonna allow you to put the aftermarket pipes in there without it. Alright guys, I have completed the installation on the aftermarket headers. The only side that gave me a lot of trouble is the passenger side to tighten the bolts. And on the back over here where it connects to the old original, also gave me a little bit of trouble in there. I will suggest you to have a pipe expander and lubricate the expander bolt, because if you don't lubricate the expander bolt, it won't work correctly, and it will damage the bolt and you won't be able to use it anymore because it's not going to work. That's what happened to me.
Um, so far the installation is complete, and I don't have any leaks. This is the passenger side. Yeah, that's the one that gave me trouble. The other one was a lot easier to install. Don't forget to install your oil dipstick. It goes on the front upper bolt of your header. And you will need your extensions for your oxygen sensors, wire extensions, and you're gonna route it and make sure they're tight, not loose and moving around, so you don't want to get damaged. And that's how it connects to it, steering column. So I hope this video will help you out, guys. It's not easy, okay? So be expecting a little bit of trouble getting completed. This is how it looks on the top. It's not much of space in there. See on this side, I already installed the reservoir for the coolant reservoir, and that's down there. All right, hope you guys have a good one and enjoy your project. Like I said, the expander, this is the expander. You can rent it at your local auto parts. I got this from O'Reilly's. It's 67097, and that's how I lubricate it on the top of it, and on the middle as well. So you want to lubricate that in order to work. This goes from 2/18 to 3.5 inch. That's how. There's another one that is smaller, but you want this size right here. Okay, so hope you guys have a good one, and if you like the video, please comment and subscribe.